coming into a new age for humanity and for the planet. But if that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Well, to reappropriate and recontextualize the words of J.R.R. Tolkien, I am no man. And neither is the earth. And I suspect that she is more in tune with and aware of her own natural biorhythms and evolution, and the evolution of her many denizens, either human, animal, or vegetable, than some sky god overlord. Just a thought. But if we can transition to actually being serious, from what I hear and understand, the Earth is upgrading. And that means a lot of frustration and interruptions for us while we experience mandatory reboots. Hello, Wilderness family. Welcome back to the wild in a new year. Wow, 2022. It sounds so space-agey, doesn't it? For those of us who've been here for a while, it's like we've been chilling out for some 20-some years in our own distant sci-fi future, but with none of the cool stuff like living robots and space travel. I mean, where is my flying car? Where are my interplanetary space cruises? This future reality we're experiencing is a drab, underwhelming disappointment. But I'm going off on a tangent here. I did not bring you all here today to complain about how galactic isolation is keeping our planet in a technological backwater. We have a more pressing issue. There is change afoot, and for some humans, this is like the best news ever. And for others, it's just a big old wallop of uncomfortable disorientation. And we're seeing this play out in all of the socio-political polarization flaring up. What many in the metaphysical community are saying is that we are experiencing the transition into a new age. We've seen the dawning of the age of Aquarius. The epic Mayan calendar has rolled over, and we cannot discount the advent of the internet. A global free flowing of information is really a fundamental shift in reality for those of you who remember before. We live with it every day, so we forget what miraculous potential lies in this tool that we tend to use to look up conspiracy theories and cat memes. So let's just step back for a moment and look at the bigger trajectory of our collective journey. The world is upgrading, and we are sitting in the front row for it. Now, I'll admit, my video title is a little erroneous. I mean, 2.0? This is not the planet's first major shift. There have been many. I'm sure the dinosaurs would be happy to tell us all about the time they went through it. And then there was that other big comet event, about 13,000 years ago, give or take, that fundamentally altered our relationship with each other and with the Earth. But this time, the change isn't coming in the form of a calamitous comet fireball in the sky. We're experiencing a global shift in consciousness. I know that sounds cheesy, but look at how much more tolerant and enlightened the global conversation has gotten about accepting people for who they are, rather than how well they fit into those preconceived, narrow, rigid boxes. So this isn't a 2.0 for the Earth. Who knows how many times she's evolved herself. But for us, the population of humans incarnated on this planet right now, the one reality we've known is dropping away. And what's coming in is our 2.0 existence. I've always thought that this last day's transition was summed up best in the last line of the film Millennium. in my opinion, the best last line in cinematic history.
Go. Now.
This is not the end. This is not the beginning of the end. It is the end of the beginning. Okay, I guess I'm really sappy, but that always gives me chills because I've always believed that this time in our history is exactly that. The end of our beginning. The end, good goddess may it be, of our species' childhood. We have a cosmic directive to grow up. And I'm honestly not sure if humanity has the huevos to rise to the occasion. I just don't have that kind of faith in my own kind. Fortunately, I don't think the entirety of the onus is on us. But some of the... I don't even know what to call them. Global intuitives? Those folks who report on the energy of the week or the energy of the month. What I am picking up on from them is that it is the planet, the Earth, who is making the energetic shift. For lack of better terminology, she is raising her ambient vibration on us, and we have to match her, or, well, we won't stick around. I like to imagine it this way. Humans long ago lost sight of their responsibility as stewards of the Earth. We are part of her biology the way different cells are part of the human bodily whole. And what has happened is that we've gotten a little cancerous. We've been functioning in ways that damage rather than edify her body. And we've been reproducing like a runaway train. What is the tally at now? 8 billion? Among other problems, through global deforestation, we've given our Earth Mother a raging case of mange. And for a long time, she's just muddled along in this state with us. But she's not going to choose us over her immune system. And kind of like the way our bodies raise the temperature to kill off viruses, the Earth is choosing wellness. And she is raising her vibration back up toward a healthy frequency. For those of us who long for a world of environmental stability and love, this change feels like water in the desert. But for those who have lost connection with their original programming, it feels a little different. And they're gonna have to adjust. Or, well, die off. Now, I might not have otherwise really talked about this on my channel, since I'm not claiming to read the ether on behalf of all life on the planet. But the thing is, this matches up so well with what I've been experiencing the last 2 years. It's this opportunity we've all had because of the pandemic to reevaluate and take stock and make big changes in our lives. I mean, it's not been fun for most of us, and I'm not pretending it hasn't been horrible for some. But that doesn't change the fact that essentially the whole human world just stopped for a moment and let us catch our breath and find some perspective. And for me, this time has been the greatest gift. It gave me permission to stop fighting so hard to perform the functions I was taught I owed the world, or what was expected me without question, and just explore what my soul wanted to explore. It's given me permission, in a sense, to prioritize what actually matters to me, to unbind the goals of my soul. And, well, that's a whole lot of weirdness. But it's my weirdness. And so, here we all are in what really does feel like a post-apocalyptic world. And who's to say that it's not? The end of the world as we know it from Revelations is not a literal and factual historical event that has yet to take place. Humanity has faced multiple apocalypses of varying scale. Just ask the ancient Cretans. for us here on this planet, in this day and age, we're experiencing the transition from an old way of ordering society into a new one. And as I said, for some, this is terrifying. I mean, that's a reasonable response. The people who are screaming so loudly about making it better again are not doing so in an expression of empathy for all of humanity. Near as I can tell, they're calling for a 1950s style cultural anchor to a vibrational societal reality that feels familiar and homey to them. They don't want that ripped away. They don't want to be cast adrift into a completely new vibration, a foreign space where all humans are equally morally relevant and animals have feelings? A space where women, where people of color, where non-binary people are all equally valid? Ah! It's chaos! There is no sanity in a world teeming with other! Okay. Sorry, I'm making fun. That's not very nice of me. As difficult as it is, we need to be exercising empathy and helping these folks have a little easier transition. And for those of us who are ready and on board and just chomping at the bit for this world to become more enlightened, more sane, more kind, it's really easy to lose sight of how terrifying this transition is for those who are comfortable in the way the world has been. And I am speaking to myself here. I am pretty traumatized by these rigid folks whose first response is to lash out in self-defensive cruelty. I've lived my life as a female in this societal mess. There's barely been a day that's gone by that I haven't been reminded that my safety is teetering precariously on the elective magnanimity of men, and some of them are not as magnanimous as they like to tell themselves that they are. I can't imagine what it's like for those who register even lower on the racial, gendered, ableist hierarchy. The world is not going to be okay until we obliterate that framework. And I guess what I'm saying is that I think we are on that path. I'm not a very optimistic person at this juncture of my existence, but I can't deny what I'm observing and what I'm sensing and what I'm seeing in the cards when I pull a spread. So if you come away with anything from this bloviating ramble, please let it be this. The world is changing. The earth will coax us to help her heal. We are seeing sweeping change in the conceptual framework of what it means to be human. It's just easy to lose sight of that in the day-to-day struggle when so much of humanity is still suffering from eons of compounded generational trauma. We have a long way to go and a difficult, tumultuous struggle ahead as we slouch toward a new tomorrow. But I think we have tipped that scale. We are no longer waiting for the shift. We are in the shift. For those of us who are part of the light working community, this is why we are here. To this end were we born. It is finally our time to do what we came here to do. Let's make a new world. Okay, folks, Happy New Year. I'm not going to recommend to you a raging positivity or optimism, but I think it's fair to peer forward to a world figuring out how to repair itself and to be better. And if not, if we don't make it and the aliens observing our planet give up and let us nuke ourselves into space dust, well, then I guess it's going to be a so long and thanks for all the fish kind of a day. But today is not yet that day, and a new year has come. A new day has dawned, and a dim glimmer of light now shines on this desolate world. So on that note, I'll see you all in the next one, and until then, keep the new year and the new world wild. And we're already losing the battery, because of course we are. For humanity and for the planet. And this is supposed to be a tea episode, and I have no tea. Not right now. Don't bump the tripod. Dude, I fed you. I fed you so you wouldn't have this issue. I am no man. I am no man. I am no man. Ugh, my kingdom for a third hand. So difficult to do. Couldn't have a normal helmet, could I? Nope, I had to have no helmet. I am no man. 2022. Don't let me down. Or rather, let's not let you down. That's probably more accurate.